Good morning.
Good morning.
If you have your Bibles, I'm going to be reading today from Isaiah, the prophet Isaiah, chapter 46. And I'm going to read 1 through 11 today. Isaiah 46, 1 through 11. And in this chapter, we find that God is talking to his people who are in captivity, the children of Israel who are in captivity in Babylon. And Babylon has now been overthrown by the Medes and the Persians. And he's making comment on some things regarding that. So Bel bows down, Nebo stoops low, their idols are worn by beasts of burden. The images that are carried about are burdensome, a burden for the weary. They stoop and bow down together, unable to rescue the burden. They themselves go off into captivity. Listen to me, you descendants of Jacob, all the remnant of the people of Israel, you whom I have upheld since your birth, and have carried since you were born. Even to your old age and gray hairs, I am he who will sustain you. I have made you, and I will carry you. I will sustain you, and I will rescue you. With whom will you compare me, or count me equal? To whom will you liken me, that we may be compared? Some pour out gold from their bags and weigh out silver on the scales. They hire a goldsmith to make it into a god, and they bow down and worship it. They lift it to their shoulders and carry it. They set it up in its place, and there it stands. From that spot it cannot move. Even though someone cries out to it, it cannot. It cannot save them from their troubles. Remember this. Keep it in mind. Take it to heart, you rebels. Remember the former things, those of long ago. I am God, and there is no other. I am God, and there is none like me. I make known the end from the beginning, from ancient times, what is still to come. I say, my purpose will stand, and I will do all that I please. From the east I summon the bird of prey, from a far-off land, a man to fulfill my purpose. What I have said that I will bring about, what I have planned, that I will do. So he's talking about people that put their trust in other things, if we make it applicable to our own lives. Because there are idols still today. We may not fashion them out of gold and bow down and worship them, but there are idols like money, our time, what we're spending for our devotion. There are many things that we can make as idols in our life that take us away from putting our true trust in God. And he gives the example of Bel and Nebo, who probably had their roots in different deities for the Babylonians. Bel may have been related to Baal, or Baal, as a lot of people will say. And then a lot of names actually would tag that onto it, like Belshazzar. There are a lot of names with Bel because it relates to that Bel. And he was kind of like a chief deity for the Babylonians. Nebo may have been a messenger type of deity to them. But they're man-made gods that they put all their trust in. They put all their faith in these gods. And then when they would be conquered, like the Babylonians were conquered, their captors would take those gold idols and they'd break them up, and they'd take them back and melt them down and make their own gods out of them, or make jewelry or ornament their palaces with them. But they served no good because they had nothing. They had no power. They had no life. It's only God that gives us those things. God sustains us, and he sustains us in his word that is declared true, and it never changes. It always will have power in it. And I like at the end, too, it talks about how, throughout ancient times, He was always there to sustain the Jewish people, no matter what the situation was. He was always there. Even before they were born, he was there and he was sustaining them. He talks about, from the east I will summon a bird of prey. And he's referring to Cyrus here. And I learned a little something here. Cyrus was referred to as a bird of prey because his nose was like the beak of an eagle. It kind of rounded a little bit. And so when we read that he was like a bird of prey, it's in reference to Cyrus. Cyrus was not one from the house of Israel, but God had made him anointed, and he ended up freeing the captives then of Israel that were in Babylon. And he even helped to pay for the rebuilding of the temple, if you remember right. So I find this very interesting. God can use anything at his disposal, and he will do that according to his good pleasure. And so we need to put our faith and our trust in him when we are in need, and we need to not look to other things to take God's place, things that won't bring any fruit other than our own fantasies, I guess. So with that in mind, I'd like to pray now pray for the sick or people that need healing in any way in their lives, anything that's incomplete in their lives.